This on the show. The Enforcement Directorate is clearly intensifying its investigation. This complaint has been pending for a very long time. Do you think finally some action is being taken?
Yeah, I first filed it in 2014, and then I think Mr. Jaitley was not in favor of proceeding with it.
Yeah.
And then again in 2019, 18, I got many more documents, and then I filed it again. And that time, they began processing it. But since the last 6 months, the ED has been active in bringing this to a closure. So this is a supplementary to my original case, which is based on the Indian Penal Code of misappropriation, criminal misappropriation, cheating, fraud, all that.
Yes.
And now it is money laundering. And that is being done by the ED because they are the ones who are expert in that, and it can't be taken by me in the court. So I think we have also the income tax has done an extremely good job, and we are waiting the High Court to clear it. The income tax had won in the High Court. And so it's going to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is there, and I hope that very soon that is clear. And then there is also the Urban Development Ministry, which had already seized the Herald House because they were not producing any newspapers there. And whatever so-called edition now they have started in the National Herald is being printed in the Indian Express printing press and not in Herald House. So I think it's a very open-shut case, and the consequences are to be seen.
Mr. Swamy, I want you to speak on 2 points. You pointed out that you filed this complaint back in 2014. There has been a substantial amount of delay, roughly about 7 years that we have seen. The argument of the Congress party is that because there is no evidence, they've not been able to do anything, and this is merely targeting us. One more point, sir, which you might be able to elaborate upon, is that these high-profile political cases and allegations of money laundering are very easy to lodge. However, when it comes to proving, the ED does not have a great record. Will you agree?
Of course, it depends on if ED is alone doing it, they'll be very poor. But ED is there's a lot of oversight, even if it's informal. They know that his public is very much agitated. And let me tell you all this delay that you people are constantly saying.
Yeah.
The delay was because after a conviction was given at one stage, they went to the High Court, they went to the single judge, then they went to the division bench, that is 2 judges, Supreme Court. There's nothing they have not gone to the Supreme Court. And each of these was going to take time. From my side, there was no delay. We were ready to go ahead on a day-to-day basis. But these accused who are Congress party leaders who took it all the way up, stage by stage. And today, for instance, the Herald House, which was taken over by the Urban Development Ministry earlier, they took it to the High Court, and High Court they lost. Now it's lying in the Supreme Court. Then there is the income tax thing. They got it cleared up, and now it is in the Supreme Court. So the delay was caused by the accused, and unfortunately, we believe that a person is innocent till proven guilty. So they get a lot of freedom to have their matter heard, and they have these adjournments and so on. So we, as far as from our side, there's been, at least from my side, there's been absolutely no delay at all.
No, not at all. Dr. Swamy, please stay with us on the broadcast. My colleague Ashish Maheshri is also with us on the show, and he has a question to ask you. Ashish, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Dr. Swamy, I've been following this case since you did the press conference in Constitution Club. Now, the argument by Congress is that, there are two big arguments that they have been giving. One is that it's a Section 25 company, and it's like an NGO. So even if there are equity holders, they cannot derive any benefit out of it. And second point they usually make is that since the Associated Journal has not closed down, so the properties still lie with Associated Journal, and thus we have not, the person who are the shareholders, they cannot derive any benefit, or there is no transfer of property. So when there is no profit that has been derived, then where is the question of money laundering? If you can elaborate on this point, sir.
It's an absurd thing to say. We are not saying that these people are eating the money that is coming. We are saying you acquired everything by fraud. You are a company with, that is the Young Indian company with 5 lakh rupees total paid up capital. They managed to get a company by paying only 50 lakhs, which they get as a loan, which is dubious, which is also part of the money laundering. That is the Doltex thing. Doltex gave them 1 crore. They kept 50 lakhs in their pocket, and the Young Indian went and gave Congress Party 50 lakhs, saying your loan of 90 crores over the years, which the social journals is not able to pay back, that you please transfer it to us because it's valueless for you now because that company is closed, and so you please sell it for 50 lakhs. So 90 crore loan right which Congress Party had was given to Young Indian for 50 lakhs. Now when they go to the Congress, to the young social journals and say, you can't pay me 90 crores, so give me 9 crore shares of 10 rupees each, which was the price of the National Herald in 1937. And didn't allow any of the other shareholders to participate. So, I'm talking
Dr. Swami, but
I'm not talking about whether they're eating money or they're having a good time with the money.
Dr. Swami, but here, whenever there is an investigation in Prevention of Money Laundering Act, there has to be proceeds of crime. Here, what do you think proceeds of crime are? Where is the proceeds of crime?
The proceeds of crime is the proceeds of crime is that they have acquired the Young Indian by fraud, and that is proceeds of the crime. Proceeds of crime doesn't necessarily mean money. And by the way, the mere fact that they are not able to, Dotex is not able to explain how they gave them 1 crore without any interest payments requirement, anything to be placed for as surety. None of these things are done. Why would you give something like that? And then
these are questionable. Sir, these are questionable transactions, you can say. What is the quantum of proceeds of crime?
They are prima facie, they have been found, and that's what the investigation is about. Investigation is not about whether they are spending money out of Young Indian, incomes. There's no investigation. Neither have I made any accusation. All that is that the transaction by which they got the AJL was fraudulent, and that has been prima facie proved, and it has been accepted by courts. You can't sit in a court when the court has already decided, yes, there's a prima facie case, this must be investigated. And you can't sit outside and start telling me what the court should do. If the court has given you a wrong judgment, go and appeal against it. They did appeal against it in the Supreme Court.
Understand, sir, our viewers, Dr. Swami, our viewers would like to understand where are the proceeds of crime in this, because the Congress says we have not, especially the Gandhis, have not benefited out of it.
What do you mean by this proceeds of the crime? Don't use phrases like that. You're saying that they used something to earn some money, which was a crime. That's what you mean by proceeds of crime.